anything, I have to just say one thing. Your fans are amazing. Like, literally, I've never in my life, pages of questions for you. Shady, but pages.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Cashay, I want to know, tell me, first of all, what have you been doing to stay mentally and physically fit during COVID?
Oh my God. Well, first it just started with just binging like really good TV shows because like that just helped me like stay out of my mental about like being alone for COVID. But then I just worked, like it's just been nice because like before I went on the show, I was just like bulking and working out, and then my body was sick and I loved it. So I think that was like the best thing that ever happened to me when it comes to COVID. It's just like I got my body to look exactly the way I wanted it to, and it was sick.
Okay, but were you not eating food? Because your body was like insane. Is insane.
No, I was eating. Everyone thinks that I don't eat. It's the craziest thing. I eat a lot. But no, it's just like I would eat and then I would lift heavy and it would just transfer into muscle. So it was just, but I'm skinny now, so it's not the vibe anymore.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we think we know so much about you through following you on social media and all the drama that's going on. And by the way, like every day, your group of contestants, of castmates, have so much more than the Housewives. So much drama. I love it. Okay, and we're going to get into all of it. But before we do that, I want to play two truths and a lie. Tell us two things about you that are truthful, one that's a lie, and we have to guess what's what.
Okay. I was proposed to before.
Okay.
I'm a great swimmer. And I was almost Princess Tiana at Disney World.
You were almost Princess Tiana. Well, I think all those three things are true. So, okay, I don't think that you were proposed to. I think that that's the lie.
No, it's true.
You were?
Yeah.
Wait, did you accept the engagement?
No! Oh my God, no.
I don't know.
And casually for like 2 months. Super casual. He was into dancing. I love salsa and bachata, so we would dance together all the time. He never met my family, never met my friends, vice versa. We went to my favorite restaurant. He proposed to me in Brooklyn. How dare you take me to my favorite restaurant, not in a relationship, and propose to me? I was fuming. He stole my first proposal.
Oh my God, but you didn't accept it. So it's not like I accepted it and then didn't go through with it later on. You knew that this was not the guy for you.
Oh, no. I'm a real person, so it's like if I don't want something, you're going to know about it. And if you were man enough to do this in front of this restaurant before I got my entree, then you're man enough to get it did. Like, no way.
Oh my God. Okay, so guys, I don't think Cashay even knows this, but in honor of Cashay, she is giving you all more premium for free. So if you guys are single, right, and ready to mingle and want to meet someone in a different way, different experience, download this. Say your friends of Cash, and you get premium for free, guys. Only today. Make sure you download some more and check it out. Okay, Cashay, I want to know, what is your craziest dating story of all time? I mean, craziest.
I don't know if I can really consider this a dating story. It's more like a meet cute because I live in New York, so the best, most romantic, craziest things happen. I went out with some of my best friends for one of my friend's birthday. Whitney Houston is my mother. Like, I love Whitney Houston from the bottom of my heart. We're standing on tables, we're dancing, and obviously it's I want to dance with somebody. I look over, and there's this man dancing as hard as I am on a table like I am to Whitney Houston. And we laugh, I know you. In that moment, I was like, that's my soulmate. Like, I need to know you. We're dancing, we're like doing lifts and stuff. And I'm like, who are you here with? He goes, my family. His whole entire family sitting like 2 feet away from us. They're celebrating his brother's engagement. I meet his family. We end up going to a speakeasy. We walk in. The DJ's like, how long have you guys been together? We're getting free shots. 2 days later, COVID happens. He goes back to Germany and never saw him again. That's New York. Like, you literally have the best nights of your life with random people and you never see him again.
Okay, did you have some fun with this guy? Like, come on, give me something.
Yeah, no, we had such a good time. I'm a lady. I didn't sleep with him. I mean, we did stuff. Like, of course, come on. Like, but yeah, it wasn't anything more than just like.
Can we say his name? Maybe he's watching.
No.
Okay.
No,
okay.
It was great. It was a great little night. He's great.
We'll embarrass you a bit in a second. Okay, so what was Cashay doing before she was the Cashay from Love Island?
Honestly, I was doing pretty much the same thing, but more low-key. Like, I've always modeled and danced and act. But, like, now it's just, like, more people are watching. But I've much done this. And then I was like a VIP bottle girl too. So, but I just don't do that anymore. But it's still like the same, you know? It's just different.
So are you able to earn a living through social media? And if so, how do you do it?
Honestly, it's just very, very different because you get so many opportunities, obviously, getting off the show. And it's not really about the money for me. It's about, like, my integrity. So, like, oh, I don't mind. Like, I'm very sex positive, and that's, you know. But a lot of, like, companies are like, oh, she's sex positive. Let's send her vibrators, lube. Let's have her suck on this. I'm like, wait, that's a little much. I've turned down so much money just because I'm like, oh, that doesn't make me comfortable. But you can 100% make money off of social media, and that's what's really great. And you get to meet a lot of great people.
Okay, so I hear that you didn't watch yourself on TV. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm not watching. What? Why would I watch? What?
Okay.
Yeah.
More importantly, did your family watch, and what were their reactions?
Yeah, my family watched. It was, do you want the I'll give it to you. So
Yes.
when I got off, my mom calls me and she goes, if you would have brought Charlie back, if we would have made it to the episode, I'm like thankful that I went home. Charlie would have got crucified by my whole entire family. Like my family watched and I was like crying when I got off the show because I was like, I wonder if my family's proud of me. They were so proud of me, but they just did not like Charlie. Like it was like that's all I heard for months, like even still to this day. And I felt really bad. So when I got off the show, I was like, no, like he's a great guy, like he didn't do anything wrong, you know, whatever. But it was
Okay, but did they want you to bring back $100,000? Come on.
honestly, my family's like me. Like it's not about the money. Like my parents are like, we don't want that man in our house. Like it just was
For no amount of money, we don't want the guy.
yeah, like they're like, you'll make that in time, but like we don't want this man.
Okay, so to all of Cashay's fans out there, I love you guys to death. The amount of DMs that you sent us, these are your questions. So I'm the messenger delivering Cashay's fans' questions. So however shady, don't take it out on me. These are your fans.
No.
And by the way, fans, because I'm reading your questions, go check out this app because she's giving it to you for free. Download some more. Okay, first question, fan question. Tell us about Cinco. How did you recover with Trina, knowing that she liked him too? And officially, are you and Cinco exclusive?
Okay, let's get into it. So, me and Cinco are exclusively together. I don't even know how to answer the Trina thing. Like, okay, so there's literally no shade there. I think people just wanted it to be a lot more juicy than what it was. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was, at first, I'm not going to lie. Like, and this is something I've never said out loud. At first, I was like, I'm going to literally cuss this girl out. I went into and I was like, she looks like a psychopath. Like, she looks crazy, like going after him when we're together. And then I left the beach hut and then I tapped her on her shoulder and said, let's go talk. And I said, I just talked shit about you in the beach hut. And I don't like the way that you're moving. I feel like you're being disrespectful to me. And she apologized. She didn't even realize. She was like, well, I wasn't really thinking about how it affected you. I said, well, you should. Because, like, I'm a person, and I like this man, and I respect that you like him, too. Like, he's sexy. I get it. He's a great guy. Cool. Let's just show some respect. And then ever since then, we were fine. But it was just, like, I didn't like how she, like, did certain things.
Okay.
She moved. But we were good.
Okay, by the way, you have fan questions, and then we have an actual interview to do. So we're going to make these speed questions. Okay. Question number 2. Why were all of you besties with Florita knowing what she did to Olivia?
So for me, I like everybody and I'm friends with everybody. And I don't like to put myself in other people's business. Did I know? Florita did tell me later on. And I literally pulled Korey aside, pulled Florita. Shannon was there. I said, you need to tell them or I will. That's just I'm like, I'm not going to insert myself, but also I'm really close to Korey, really close to Florita, really close to Olivia, close with Jeremy. Like, I'm just like, y'all need to talk to each other. And that's what I hate because in the villa, we always talk to each other about everything. And outside, it's like not the same.
Okay, are Olivia and Florita on talking terms?
I honestly don't know. That's something I literally don't know about. And I was just talking to Olivia. I don't know if they're talking, to be honest.
How do you feel about Florita knowing that she is burning bridges within this group?
I think it's messy. I don't like messy because I'm obsessed with everybody and I love how much we all hang out. So I'm just like, I don't like that. Let's not burn bridges. Let's just be friendly. Let's kiss other people. That's not in
Exactly. This is like the most incestuous group of people. It is literally a reality show post the reality show, right?
Yeah, like let's kiss other people and then like bring more people into this group. Like let's hang out, you know?
Okay. So when did you realize that Cinco was the one for you? At what moment did this whole thing change? Was it instantly, or at some point you saw him and you were like, wow, I see him in my future. I see him as my husband.
With Cinco, it was, I think it was our third conversation. We were on the blue couch and I was staring at him and it was raining. And I don't remember what happened exactly, but I remember looking at him and I was like, I'm in love with this man. And I was like, well, gotta run for the hills now.
That's very true. Okay, so you met up at the airport after the show. What was it like seeing him at the airport when you had left the villa?
If I'm being honest, at first it was like awkward. Because I'm like, what do we, I'm like, do we hug? Do we kiss? Like, it was like a little weird.
What's the status of things? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, do you like me? Like, I literally didn't know. Because I'm like, you went home and it was partially my fault. And then you saw me with Charlie. Like, do you like me? But after, fun.
Okay, should Olivia have won Love Island?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, rumors are going around, we kind of could address this, but anyways, rumors are going around that Korey slept with Florita. What are your thoughts on all of this scandal, and should Olivia forgive Korey? Do you want to see them, do you personally want to see them together?
I think Olivia should forgive Korey when she wants to, if she hasn't already. You know what I mean? I just feel like you can't force that kind of thing. Because if my whole thing is respect, so if someone disrespects me, I have to get over that on my own time. What was the other question? It was a two-part.
Okay, do you see them back together? Do you think that they will come back together as a couple?
I don't know. I literally don't know. I was so for them, and now I just like don't know because I'm nervous. I don't know.
I feel like you're giving me a no. You're not saying no, but I feel like I'm getting a vibe of no.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Because if it were me and I was in that situation, I wouldn't. But that's not because of Korey. It's just because knowing that you kissed someone else that I'm friends with, I couldn't do it.
Okay, but let's get into the tea here, because whose fault is it really if Olivia and Korey are on a break and then 30 seconds after the break starts, he sleeps with someone else? Who is this guy?
So I don't know if I slept with her. Like, I don't know if that actually happened. I know there was a kiss. I don't know, because it's kind of like, is he wrong? Kind of, but it's like, I get where he's coming from and she's coming from, and that's why I'm still friends with both of them. It's just messy.
Could not agree more. Okay, why doesn't Cinco visit you more in New York City? What's up?
He has a business. Like, he has a gym, and he has a business partner, and they have clients. Obviously, I wish he could come here all the time. I love New York, and I'm not a big fan of DC. But for me, it's just kind of like I'm willing to go there more just because he has his gym, you know?
Okay, at what point, though, does a long-distance relationship need to be a closer distance of a relationship?
Oh, yeah. So for me, I don't believe in long-distance relationships. So this is like a very hard thing for me. I think me and him have had the conversation. I'm like, I can only go this long distance. And then after that, so we've had that conversation.
Okay, guys, fans, don't yell at me. I'm literally reading your questions. These are your questions for, yeah, exactly, for Cash. All right, so did Charlie try to get back with you after the show?
This is so...
The answer is yes, obviously, but what did he do?
It was just, it was one of those things where he needed some conversations to get to a place of closure. I think it's one of those.
Okay. Did anyone go on the show not to find love, but to find fame? And if so, who are we talking about?
I don't think so. I don't think that was anyone's intention going on the show, no. Not that I know of.
Okay, how do you handle all of the haters? This person says they go into your DMs all the time and there's a lot of hate. What do you do?
I ignore it. Or I cry to Cinco about it. Like, when we first got off the show, I would just bawl my eyes out. Like, I would literally, just cry. Because I was just like, what do you mean? Because that's just not how I react. And I would never say something rude about someone, especially if I don't know them. Yeah, petty jabs I get, because, I can be petty. But, oh, my God. People are just ruthless sometimes. It was really hard to deal with. And I'm just I kind of just try to block it out.
Are you and Cinco spending Christmas together? And if so, what city will you be in?
I don't think we are. I'm trying to convince him to come meet my family because he hasn't met my mother or my sisters yet, or my dad. He's only met my brother. But I know he has plans. Like I want him to meet my family in January. My family's just a tough bunch, so I'm like really nervous for that to happen. But I don't think we're spending Christmas together.
Got it. Okay, guys, remember, because of Cash, you're getting some more for free. Make sure you download this app. Okay, now let's get into Cash's real relationship life. So let's be official here. Cashay Proudfoot, what is your current relationship status right now?
You know, that's a sticky one. We're not like officially in a relationship, but we're exclusive, if that makes sense.
I'm confused. It sounds like a situationship. Explain.
I think it's a little bit more than a situationship because for the last 4 years, I've been doing situationships, and that's usually the area I like to stay. But with me and him, it's definitely more than a situationship, I would say. But yeah, we're just not.
Are you guys allowed to be with other people?
If that man was with somebody else, I would leave.
Are you allowed to be with other people?
No, oh my God. It's same. It's not a double standard.
Okay, no, just asking.
No, we're definitely like exclusively just with each other, you know.
But you don't want to call yourselves boyfriend and girlfriend?
I would love to call that man my boyfriend. And I feel like I do sometimes. And I feel like it's I don't know.
What's the roadblock? What's the hesitation? There seems to be a blockage. Is it because he's too far away?
I don't think there's not really a block. Like for him, he just wants to do it in a special way. And there were a few times he was going to, like LA was one of the times. And then, you know, about that, we fought in LA. So we probably could have been official then. And then, you know, he just wants to do it in his own special way. So.
Okay, so has he been fully faithful to you this whole time or not?
No, this is the thing about Cinco. Like, he gets, like, such a bad rep. Like, we all get different reps from the show. But he's honestly, like, super, super supportive and open. And I trust that man. I do. Even though sometimes I, like, I'm like, what's going, you know, just because I'm a woman. But no, like, I don't.
I call, by the way.
Yeah, you know, but I really don't think he would do anything. And if he wanted to go that route, I feel like there would be a conversation first.
Okay, so Cashay, I want to know, what was it about your last relationship that you knew that guy was not the one?
I was begging for what I deserve. It was like just one of those situations where he just couldn't meet me where I needed him to. You know what I mean? It was messy and it was sad and I was unfulfilled and I was lonely. And you should never feel that way in a relationship. And that was 4 years ago.
And so did you call it quits or did he call it quits?
So we had that conversation of like, where are we going to go? And we were texting. And then he didn't text me for 2 weeks. Then he sent me a text message and said,
wow,
I should have responded to you. I'm sorry. It was a dick move. I'm confused. So then I blocked his number and moved across the country and never saw him again. I'm not going to be with him about me.
If the man's confused, he's not confused. He's not the one, probably, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Like, so how do you describe your type? When you turn around in your bed in a year from now, hopefully in 6 months or a month, and it's Cinco, but if it's not, how do you describe your type of guy? Who do you want to end up with?
Honestly, I just want someone who loves wholeheartedly. Like, that's just my type. Like, who just loves. I like someone tall. I like someone fit. I like someone funny, playful, you know?
And your love language is?
Words of affirmation. 100%.
And what's your favorite phrase?
I'm proud of you. That's just my favorite. Like, someone saying proud of you, or I'm glad you're here. Is my favorite.
You're so emotional and sensitive. I love this conversation. Okay, so Cashay, have you ever used dating apps? And if so, what's been your experience being on these apps?
I have before, but for me, it's just I'm such a mannerisms type of girl. Like, I need to see you walk and talk and eat, and then how you look at me. Like, do you look at me and see me, or do you just stare? You know what I mean? There's a difference. So just, it never went well. And I went on one really bad date and I was just like, I'm never doing this again.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to know, if you were single, and you're not single right now, if you were single, would you ever consider joining the cast of Love is Blind? Do you like that concept for a show or not?
I just don't like that they have to get engaged at the end, so probably not.
Okay, but what about the concept of forming a relationship and leaving the physical alone for at least the beginning parts?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's definitely great to see someone's heart. 100%.
And do you find that, you know, some people, some women your age who are on these dating apps are just like, this guy's hot, this guy's hot, this guy's hot. We know nothing about these people.
Yeah.
And we're making dating decisions with like a headshot.
Yeah. For me, it's like, since I model and I've been around a lot of attractive men, I don't like looks. Okay, great. Like, what's under that? Like, can you make me laugh? Do you make me feel loved? Like, what's under that for me? You know?
The substance.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Dish and Tell, I asked you to bring something with you that you always use or bring with yourself on a date. What is the item?
Well, I wouldn't bring these on a date, but my booty bands. Like, I can't really go over without these. So it's like I squat with these. It's like, because I'm bulking back up again, I can't go anywhere without them. Like, I'm in a hotel right now in Vegas, and I'm like working tonight, and I still need my booty bands.
Okay, do you think that is your most important physical feature?
Right now, yeah. Like, I had the best ass in the villa, my dream ass, and then I lost it, so I'm never going anywhere without these until I get my dream ass back. Respect.
I think your best feature is this, physical feature.
Oh, thank you.
You're gorge. Okay, so marry, shag, and remove. This is going to be hard for you. Get to marry one, shag one, and remove one from Charlie, Cinco, and Korey. Marry, shag, and remove. That's the uncomfortable scratch. Oh my God.
No, I'm being completely honest. I wouldn't want to shag Korey or Charlie. And there's just like Korey's my best friend. Like, I don't see Korey in that way. I think he's handsome, but no. And I wouldn't want to shag Charlie. That's just not.
Not into it.
No.
So Cinco all the way.
Yeah, I'd marry Cinco. I would, yeah, and I wouldn't want to, I'd get rid of Charlie because it's just, we've been there. But I can't shag Korey. I can't.
Korey, you're not shaggable to Cash. Hope that's not offensive to you.
And I think it's mutual. We're like the best of homies.
Okay, so this is my favorite time of the program where we get to play Sip and Tell, where we get to sip our answers instead of speak our answers. So guys and gals at home, you're sitting at home, you're waiting, you're trying to figure out what to do. A, get this app for free because of Cash. And secondly, grab a beverage. And if the following is true about you, take a sip. Cash, are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
I mixed in some of your fan questions, so some slightly shady, but mostly not. Okay. Have you ever had a fling with another Love Island star other than Cinco? If you have, take a sip.
Well, I was like with Charlie and Casa Amor, so I was like,
there you go. Will Will and Kira get back together? If you think they will, take a sip.
I hope they do not.
Okay. Will Olivia and Korey get back together? If you think they will, take a sip.
I don't know what to do. I have no idea.
Okay. She said no because she didn't sip. So, do you believe in love at first sight? If you do, take a sip. Are you a member of the Mile High Club?
So with the Mile High Club, like, well, no. No. Mm-mm.
Sex on a plane? No.
No.
Okay. Dated someone your friends hated? Yes. Was your family initially into Cinco? If they were into him, take a sip.
There was like two family members that's like, what, you know?
If Cinco does not work out, would you ever consider Charlie? If you would, take a sip. Have you ever dated two guys at once? If you have, take a sip.
If there's no relationship title, like, you mean like casually see more than one guy?
Yeah, casual see. Okay. Have you ever dated your best friend's ex? If so, take a sip. Do you think Cinco is a former player? If you think he's a former player, take a sip. No. Got into a fight with a friend over a guy? If so, take a sip. Have you ever swung the other way, even a little bit? If so, take a sip. There you go. I want to know all about this story, but we don't have time. Have you ever been with a guy that swung the other way, even a little bit? If so, take a sip. Okay, that I have to pause on. You need to just give me, like, what happened?
Well, I was seeing this guy in college, and everything was fun and sexy. And then we went to a party, and he's like, oh, I've hooked up with him. I was like, what? He goes, with him. That's my ex. I didn't know. Totally fine. I just had no idea.
Okay. So follow-up question, not part of this list, but follow-up question. Would you date a guy that was open about being bisexual, or would you have this like feeling that he's going to leave you for a guy?
I'm not really worried about if somebody leaves me. If they're going to leave you, they're going to leave you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't really know if I would care. I don't know. It just depends.
Okay.
Like I like a masculine man. So if he's like still, if he's in touch with his feminine, it's totally fine. But as long as he still has that, like, you know, macho type of vibe, totally fine.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, I love this. I'm posting all about this later on. Yeah, this is great. No one's ever said that before. Okay. Have you ever cheated on a guy? If so, take a sip.
Mm-mm.
Has another guy cheated on you? If so, take a sip. Has a celebrity flirtatiously slid into your DMs? If so, take a sip. You know I'm going to ask you.
I'm not going to answer. I can't. No, too messy.
Okay. Have you ever had sex on the first date? If so, take a sip. Would you be into a polyamorous relationship? If you would consider it, take a sip. Wow.
I consider it, but I wouldn't do it. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Cashay, we asked your fans to send in their biggest dating questions for you, and we pulled one for you to answer. This is from Kara from Florida, and she writes, hey, Cash, I love you so much on Love Island, and I'm happy that you and Cinco are still together and going strong. My question is about dealing with rejection when dating. What's the best way to move past rejection? I've been dating this guy I met on Tinder for 3 weeks, and just like that, he started to ghost me. Why are men so awful once they get what they want?
So that's just like something that's super big with women. And what I always say is, it's not you. And even if it is you, it's not you. Because that's the only way you're going to move past rejection. You know what I mean? Because so many women sit and they're like, what did I do wrong? What could I do better? What's wrong with me? Maybe nothing. You're beautiful. You're hot. You're fierce. You're everything. He didn't want you. Move on. And that's fine. Like, feel it for 24 hours and let it go. Fuck that guy.
So Patty Stanger, one of these big millionaire matchmakers, says no sex before monogamy. Do you agree with that?
No. Sex is so important. But I think there needs to be a level of I'm committed to you and you're committed to me before I have sex with somebody. Unless it's just like a casual fun, I have a roster and I'm seeing a couple of guys, like, okay. But even still, I personally don't like to sleep with a bunch of men at once, or even 3 men at once, or 2. Like, it's just not my vibe.
Not my vibe either. Okay, guys. Now, this is the part of the show where everyone gets to think of a dating or relationship tip. So, Cash is going to give you her dating or relationship tip of the day. I'm going to give you mine, and then I'm going to tell everyone who's on S'more Live Happy Hour on Friday, which is tomorrow, and also next week, we have a big Love Island star coming on next week. I think we've literally interviewed the entire cast except for Cinco at this point. But anyways, guys, my quick dating relationship tip of the day. Dating, let me just tell you this. Dating is not about convincing someone that you're worthy. Dating is not about convincing someone that you're worthy. If you feel like you're trying to sell yourself to someone else, shut the door and move on. You should not be selling yourself. This is not a strip club. This is a place to find relationships. Convey who you are. Let them convey who they are. And it needs to be a mutually beneficial thing. Do not convince yourself or do not convince them that you are worthy. You are always enough and you are always worthy. That is my dating relationship tip of the day. Cash, what's yours?
I think mine, it's not like a conventional one, but mine is before you get into a relationship, after a heartbreak, sit down, write down 10 things that are beautiful about yourself, 10 things you can fix when it comes to a relationship, and 10 things that you know you'll never find in someone unless you fix those 20 things. And that, to me, made me ready ish to move on into another relationship. I just think it's important to take a look in.
To follow up with that, how do you know that you're ready for love? When we interviewed Olivia, she said, look, I took a break with Korey because I wasn't ready for this. How do you know when you're ready?
I'm someone that I don't think I'm ever actually ready. You know what I mean? Like, because I just have so many, like, thoughts, like, what if this doesn't work out? Like, you become best friends with this person and they become your world and you share so many memories and then it doesn't work out and then you're just like left with like a shell of yourself for a second and then you have to build yourself back up. I think it's just when you meet someone, if you think to yourself, I cannot be without this person, I don't want to lose this person, it's worth the risk, then you know you're ready.
And by the way, there's no point of having a heart unless you use it. Go out there, take a risk, and go love someone. Guys, I want to say a few things. One, because of Cash today, we're giving S'more Premium away for free. So if you're single and you're looking to mingle and you don't want to judge someone just based on the way they look, then download S'more. Also, a lot of the cast from Love Island's using S'more, so make sure you check that out. You may even find someone from the show. Also, if you like S'more Live, then check out our 175 episodes right below. We saved them all here for you. Tomorrow on S'more Live Happy Hour, we have Rachel Rigler from TikTok. She is one of the most famous TikTok stars around. She has millions of followers. And next week, we have Florita joining us from Love Island on Monday. I know all of you have sex questions for her about other cast members, and I'm going to be getting DMs all weekend long, but make sure you send me those DMs. Cash, thank you so much for being with us today. I love this interview. It was amazing. Yeah. And we'll see you next time on another edition of S'more Live Happy Hour. Bye, guys. Thanks, Cash. Take care, guys.